When I first became Dean of the School of International Service in 1986, I noticed beautiful cherry trees planted on the northern side of our building. You'll see in April, when the cherry trees are in bloom, beautiful, beautiful flowers, very large flowers. And people from the Korean community in Washington, D.C. come and hang signs on the cherry trees because they know something that is indicated on the plaque that's in front of the tree. And this is what they know. They know that these cherry trees they're named Korean cherry trees, which recognizes their origin. They were planted on that site in April 8, 1943 by Syngman Rhee. He's described in this plaque as the independence leader and the first Korean president. And they were also planted by American University President Paul Douglas as a living symbol to the concern university intellectuals shared for the independence of Korea, for Korea's oppressed people, and for the realization of democracy. And so, I myself, I'm a sociologist. My specialty is economic development in Latin America. 20 years ago, when I became Dean of the School of International Service, I had never been to East Asia. I didn't know much about East Asia, let alone Korea. But I found myself just fascinated with the Republic of Korea. I visited 25 times over the last 15 years. And I think I presume that most people in the room have spent time in Korea. I've spent more time in Latin America than I have in Korea, but the pace of change in Korea is so rapid compared to the parts of the world where I have been before. And the focus on education is so pronounced that someone like myself who does higher education always feels welcome there. And then the politics are so amazing. I mean, when I talk with friends of mine in Korea, they say, oh, the economy's falling apart, the politics are so chaotic, we don't know what's happening. I think this economy is so vibrant compared to any economies that I see in this hemisphere. It's a very, very strong economy. And look at the politics. I mean, the current president is on the left side of the political spectrum. The previous president was on the right side of the political spectrum. This president is 2 generations younger than the previous president. There's never been a political transition in Latin America that dramatic. And when there have been political transitions less dramatic than that, there's been huge disruptions in politics. Now, when you focus on Korean politics, you think there's huge disruptions going on right now. But if you look at politics in Venezuela, Bolivia, Peru, the disruptions in Korean politics are mild compared to the disruptions in those countries. This is a young, very healthy democracy moving along in a very positive way. And so for me, it's a relief to go to Korea and to look at the politics and look at the economics. I see things really moving in a very positive, very exciting way, and I try to take lessons back to other parts of the world that I focus on as a result of that. One of the things that we want to do in the new building is to recognize these ties that we have with the Republic of Korea. I mean, the fact that we have the cherry trees planted by Syngman Rhee is something unique. I doubt that there's any other university in the United States that has something like that. A second thing that's wonderful and unique is that Seoul, of course, is on the same latitude as Washington, D.C. And if you're selecting plants, plants can be planted at the same latitude all around the world. So the idea that we have for the landscape of our new building is to have a Korean landscape with plants that are native to Korea planted around the building. Also, the new building is going to be very environmentally friendly. It was designed by someone named William McDonough, who's one of the most well-known environmental architects in the United States. And a Korean landscape fits very, very well with a concept of having an environmental building, because compared with European gardens or Japanese gardens or Chinese gardens, Korean gardens need very little maintenance. They're more set up in a natural state, designed in a way so that you don't use a lot of fertilizer, so that water is managed in a very efficient fashion. So both because of our long ties with the Republic of Korea, because we're on the same latitude as Seoul, and because Korean gardens and landscapes fit so well with the concept of environmentalism, the notion of having a landscape around the building that is Korean landscape is something that we are aiming to have when the building is created.